Rain pounded against the windows, and the wind howled outside as if it could penetrate every corner of the room. I sat in my secluded apartment, engrossed in my work, when suddenly I heard strange noises coming from the hallway. At first I assumed it was just the sound of an old pipe or something similar, but the noises grew louder and more peculiar. I stood up and cautiously approached the door, feeling my heart racing. As I opened it, I froze, seeing an unfamiliar creature before me. It was pale gray, with elongated limbs and no visible facial features. Its eyes gleamed in the darkness, like two sinister lanterns. I couldn't move, my hand unable to reach the light switch. The creature raised its strange limbs and began to slowly advance toward me, emitting quiet but ominous rustles. Suddenly I felt something awakening inside me, something ancient and alive. My legs carried me into the depths of the apartment, far away from this terrifying entity. I ran, not looking back, and eventually found myself in a small room long forgotten by me. Meanwhile, the noises grew fainter, and the sinister creature vanished as if dissolved into the darkness. But I knew it hadn't disappeared forever. It was still there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for its moment to return. And here I am, in this small room, trembling with fear and afraid to venture outside. But what if this is just the beginning? What if it returns, with even more dreadful intentions? What if my own fears only beckon it back again and again? The end of my story is unknown, but I feel that danger still awaits me, that dark forces are ready to invade my life again and swallow me whole, and I fear it could happen at any moment. Days passed, but the shadow of fear still loomed over me, like a heavy blanket. I tried to return to normal life, convincing myself that what had happened was just a product of my imagination, a tired mind conjuring illusions. But deep inside, I knew it was more than just a dream or hallucination. One day, as I dared to return to my apartment after a long absence, I heard the same rustling in the hallway. Fear gripped me again, as if it had never left. But this time, I was prepared. I mustered up the courage to investigate the source of the sound. Yet, when I opened the door, there was nothing there, just emptiness and silence. I looked around, trying to discern anything suspicious, but all I saw were ordinary objects in my apartment. Confused and unsettled, I returned to my work desk, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, of something lurking in the dark corners of my dwelling. Weeks went by without any new incidents, and I started to hope that it was all just a figment of my imagination. But the shadow of fear remained, as if unwilling to leave me be. And now, as I write these lines, I still cannot be sure of what happened then. Perhaps it was just my mind playing tricks on me, or perhaps something much more sinister and inexplicable. I do not know. But one thing I know for sure: my story is not over yet, and the danger still awaits, lurking in the shadows, waiting for its chance to return. After that incident, I began to avoid my apartment, seeking refuge in other places where I could feel safer. But the fear continued to follow me everywhere, as if it were an integral part of my being. Each time I returned home, the feeling of discomfort grew stronger, as if the air around me became heavier. I tried to find an explanation for what was happening, considering possibilities from electrical issues to my own mental state. But the deeper I delved, the more mysteries I uncovered, and the more I realized that my living situation was far from what it seemed initially. And now, standing at this moment as I write these words, I still don't know what happened then. Maybe it was just a game of my mind, or maybe something much more sinister and unexplainable. I do not know, but one thing I do know for certain: the danger still lurks, waiting for its moment to strike, and my own fears may only be summoning it back again and again. With each step deeper into the history of my dwelling, I uncovered much that troubled me. It seemed every corner of this apartment held its own secret, and the more I uncovered, the more insane it all seemed. Old records from the archives spoke of strange occurrences that had happened in this house decades ago. Previous residents left their testimonies of feeling watched, hearing noises within the walls, and seeing shadows wandering through the rooms. I delved into the research, trying to piece together the fragments of this dark puzzle. And slowly but surely, a picture began to form before me. Something unimaginable had happened in this house, something that left its mark on its walls and its soul. But the deeper I dug, the more I realized that I couldn't handle it alone. I needed help, support, someone who could share my doubts and fears. That's why I decided to turn to professionals, to people who could unravel this mystery. With their assistance, we began to conduct more thorough investigations, examining every nook and cranny of the apartment, every insignificant trace that could shed light on this enigma. And together we discovered something I never expected. Behind an ordinary wall in the living room, we found a secret room, hidden from the eyes of the house's inhabitants for decades. In that room I found records left by previous tenants, testimonies of their fears and encounters with unknown forces lurking in the darkness. But the most astonishing discovery was what we found in that secret room, an artifact that seemed ancient and magical. It was as if it attracted dark forces, drawing them into this house and sealing them here forever. Now, with these revelations before us, I understood that my story was far from over. This mystery was deeper and more complex than I could have imagined, and to solve it, we would have to delve into the darkest corners of this house and confront whatever lurked in its depths. After freeing the house from darkness, a new beginning arrived. We decided to leave the secret room behind, closing the door, so it could never again bring evil into this world. But even in our triumphant moment, I felt that there were still unfulfilled tasks and undiscovered mysteries awaiting us. We resolved to continue our exploration, not limiting ourselves to just this house. We aimed to unravel the secrets hidden in the dark corners of this world and help those who encountered similar dangers. Thus began our new life, a life of mystery seekers and fighters against evil. We joined forces to confront the darkness, despite all the difficulties and dangers we had to overcome. And so, every day we sought new challenges, new mysteries, ready to face them head-on and overcome any obstacles in our way. We knew that the world was full of secrets and dangers, but we also knew that together, we were unstoppable. And now, standing on the threshold of a new day, we understood that our story did not end here. Much lay ahead of us: new puzzles, new adventures, and new battles. But we were ready for them because we knew that together, nothing could stop us. Thus, our story continued, filled with adventures and discoveries. We were ready for whatever awaited us, knowing that our friendship and determination were our greatest treasures in this world of mysteries and puzzles. Years passed, filled with adventures, dangers, and discoveries. We overcame many trials, faced dark forces, and unraveled countless mysteries that could have swallowed even the bravest souls. But our journey was not without its losses. We lost friends, defeated enemies, and every trial strengthened us, making our bond stronger. We became not just allies, but a family united by common goals and values. And now, standing on the brink of a new day, we realized that our story didn't end here. There was still much ahead of us: new puzzles, new adventures, and new battles. But we were prepared because we knew that we had each other, and our friendship and determination were our greatest assets. And perhaps, somewhere in the dark corners of this world, there were still new mysteries waiting for us, new secrets waiting to be unraveled. But we were not afraid because we knew that nothing could stop us as long as we were together. And so our story continued, forever drawing us into its magical whirlwind of adventure. With the dawn of each new day, we ventured forth into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges awaited us. Our journey was filled with twists and turns, victories and defeats, but through it all, we stood together, united in our quest for truth and justice. As we walked along the path of destiny, we encountered new allies and formidable foes, each adding their own chapter to our epic saga. Yet, through every trial and tribulation, we remained steadfast, our resolve unwavering. And now, as we stand at the precipice of the unknown, we know that our journey is far from over. There are still mysteries waiting to be unraveled, adventures waiting to be had, and battles waiting to be fought. But we face the future with courage in our hearts and hope in our souls, knowing that as long as we stand together, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. And so, with determination burning bright within us, we march forward into the great unknown, ready to embrace whatever destiny has in store. For our story is not yet finished, it is only just beginning. And as long as we have each other, we will continue to journey onward, bound by the unbreakable bonds of friendship and adventure.